152. 153.
While the voting was less eventful, the aftermath was intense and nearly created an atmosphere of disorder. The tensions died down when the NDC decided to challenge the polls at the Supreme Court. Though they lost the suit, actors within the political space have highlighted changes recorded in the announcement of the presidential election as a major dent on the electoral fortunes of the country.
Also, the declaration of the result itself by the Electoral Commission, we saw the number of the multiple declarations and then the changing of the election, the actual percentages and all that. So I think that it is something that I think that was also a blot on the image of the Electoral Commission.
Ghana has over the years earned the accolade of being a peaceful country through peaceful transfers of power. But the about 7 deaths recorded during the polls has cast shadow on this recognition. The Electoral Commission after the polls has maintained that it cannot be held accountable for the deaths while acknowledging a need for justice to be served.
There's a tendency for fingers to be pointed at the EC when security is not the core mandate of the Electoral Commission. I read the Constitution, and security is not one of our core mandates. I use this occasion to clarify that the Electoral Commission is not responsible for election security. Although the entire electoral process and its success rests on the shoulders of the Commission.
In one of these instances, voters who had gathered at a collation center at Techiman South were shot at by military officers. The families have since then been on a campaign for justice. The only result they have to show for this was a visit to them by the Interior Minister. But for the father of one of the deceased, this is not enough.
1 year now, no any investigation, we haven't seen anything, and we are still appealing for the government that you should bring the justice. You should let the family know who do that thing, bad thing, and then they must be prosecuted. It should be lesson for the others.
The government party's major contender in the 2020 polls, the NDC, has maintained that the polls were manipulated in favor of the NPP. They refer to the deaths as a consequence of the actions of the EC. The government entered the election with this track record of implementing the free SHS policy, one village, one dam, planting for food and jobs, one district, one factory, among a number of other flagship policies. In its 2020 manifesto, the NPP promised to continue and complete these projects. A host of other promises that seemed to clash with major policies in the NDC manifesto were outlined. For instance, the government promised to provide cars to Okada riders as opposed to the legalization of the Okada business in the NDC manifesto. The guarantor system in the access of student loan was promised, opposed to the free tertiary fees promised in the NDC manifesto for the 2021 academic year. They also promised to help young graduates foot their rent. A year down the line, after the poll, the party believes it's on course in delivering on these promises.
The major priority now is to realign how we fund public finances. And that is why the government is putting forward the innovative e-levy. So if we get the e-levy through, which I believe we will, then we are focusing the e-levy on three major things: employment generation for our youth, and then of course reduction of our public debt. Paying down the debt is critical, and then infrastructure, investing in quality infrastructure, especially roads.
For the National Democratic Congress, the NPP government has only worsened the plight of Ghanaians, acknowledging that the government has done just a year out of the 4-year mandate lecturer at the Political Science Department of the University of Ghana, Dr. Abdul Jalid Atiku, indicated that surveys on government performance so far is not encouraging.
You have 62% of Ghanaians saying that they do not have confidence in the ability of the new political party to curb corruption, right, and impunity. And also about 53% of the population, right, they do not have the confidence in the ability of the government to protect financial resources by promoting accountability in public service. So looking at the data set, it means that Ghanaians are not happy about how things are moving, and therefore they need to step up their game.
But what do the electorate think about the performance of the government? Would they have made same choices on hindsight?
In fact, since we voted 2021 up to now, no improvement. We are suffering. We are suffering. Everything makes me sad. There's no food in the system.
There's no food. Have you gone to the market and you didn't see food? What are you talking about? My brother, if this interview, NDC people will talk their own. MPP will talk their own. So leave these people.
Let me talk.
Have you gone to the market and you didn't get food? What are you talking?
When you see the budget they even read, you can see that things are not going on well. Things are very difficult. And even when we the Momo users, you said you are coming to tax us 1.75. And just imagine if I have 50 Ghana or 100 Ghana in my account and I want to send it to maybe my parents for them to have something to take withdraw and then use it for maybe for their medical issues. You are saying you are going to tax me, then I'm going to send to them.
If God who created us, some people are accusing the God. What about the politician? God who created us, some people are accusing the God. What about the politician?
There's nothing. What have we seen? About 4 or 5 years now, what have we seen? Upon all the taxes we are paying and the loans they are taking, and the loans they are taking, what have we seen? What will you point that taking the loan, taxing us, driver's license, income tax, and all upon all that? What have we seen? What will you point now that about 5 years they have done this, they have done this, they have done? There's nothing. I haven't seen nothing. So they are cheating us.
So for you, there can't be any proper assessment of the government because people already will make up their mind regardless of what they
If I want to say the truth, I have benefit of free HHS. Not free HHS. There's a lot of job on it. So if I decide because of the abroad this thing, I'll vote against the government. That's my choice.